Good morning, FlossTube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. It is Sunday, March 26, 2023, and this is my FlossTube episode number 79. Oh my goodness. It has been 2 weeks, and I think that I had mentioned on Instagram or somewhere that I was going to pass on my FlossTube last weekend, only because I took on the big adventure of painting my family room, kitchen, and laundry room. They're all connected. Laundry room is a room off of the kitchen, off of the pantry area. So it is one long, detailed area to paint. And I'm super pleased with the results. I'm so happy. I am down to the last 4%, which is just cutting in, not on this wall, but on the opposite wall. The one where I'm facing is, we have 12-foot walls. And I got to tell you, I'm not a heights person. I don't like them. I am on a ladder, and my husband's on a ladder. And of course, that is something we can really only do when you're getting up that high at night because of the situation with Philip. It is just not safe for either one of us to be up on a ladder when the other one is caring for Philip. And then if there is any, you can just follow the dotted line. Safety first. And so things I could do during the day, last weekend I focused on that. So last weekend I finished the laundry room, and I got a lot of things cleaned up and put away. So I am so sorry that I didn't get to sit down with you. I always miss you, but I did feel like my house needed to just get back into shape, and especially after market, it definitely was in a bit of chaos. And then I was able to put some of that away, but it also needed some organization. You don't just come home and say, I'm done. That is for sure. So I had bins to go through and things left in the garage. And so I felt like I needed that weekend to just regroup everything and to finish up. So it was a great week last week. The week before that, pretty much every day was painting and doing things. Okay, what other exciting things happened in my week or the last 2 weeks where I haven't been with you? We have been in a 55 and older community now for almost going on 2 years. We have not had a golf cart, and that is one of the most exciting things we've had happen in the last couple of weeks. And that was, we bought a new to us, used. It was an older rental, that like a golf cart rental. And anyways, we now have a golf cart, and I cannot tell you how much that has changed some of the lifestyle that I have with Philip. It is another thing that him and I can go do. If you're new here, Philip is my 22-year-old son. He will be 23 this year, and he has special needs. There's a lot that goes into that. However, this was something that I knew was going to be big for him, because to him it's like all these things he sees with people on bikes and motorcycles or scooters, and now he's one of them, and he just smiles so big every single time we get on the golf cart and go for a ride. And so it's relaxing, and it's something we can do in the summer that maybe not mid-afternoon here in Florida, but we can still do a good morning ride or maybe before bed ride. And it's just, other than that, we do, stay inside quite a bit in the hottest months. So it's still really quite nice out. And it was fun. It's been really nice having it. We go pick up the mail, and we can go visit my dad. And it's just, I think that was one of the funnest things that have happened in the last 2 weeks in my life on a personal level. So we did have, it was picked up and by our local golf cart place, and they kind of did a check, an annual check, and we had them add seat belts to the front 2 seats. We will still add them to the back, but that just is something that I felt was completely necessary with having Philip. So safety, but fun, and I wish, hopefully I can share a picture of his smile with you one day soon. So that was really big. Wednesday, I went up to Brick City Cross Stitch, even though market's over, I am already really quite far, to me, engrossed in my summer releases. So I think I talked a little bit about that on my last floss too, but I have my first fully finished release ready for summer releases, which will be done mid-May. I will release them around mid-May, and the first one is all done. It is an Oscar the Cat, and it has a little bit of coffee theme in it. I think you're gonna like it, and it's really, really cute. I'm very pleased. So that's number 1 done. I also went on Wednesday. If you follow her, her name is Chris, and she is the Crisscross Stitcher, and I've named her several times. She's just super sweet. She's in the Villages, and she model stitched for me. Not only did she model stitch, she stitched it twice. While she waited for the fibers and the floss to come in, she couldn't wait, so she went ahead and stitched it, and I just love that because she stitched for her a bigger size, and she did something different to it, and then she stitched the model the way that I asked for it to be stitched, and mine is a little smaller. So that is off getting finished right now, and I'm super stoked about that one. So anyways, but I went and I picked that up, and we had dinner, and I stayed and stitched, and I think I stayed till almost 10:30 at night. So it was really fun that we got to just have that time together in her house. And let me tell you, her house is like, her cross-stitching displays are absolutely adorable, and she has smalls and bowls everywhere, and I can never get enough. There's eye candy everywhere, and a variety which is so fun to look at. I definitely am motivated to stitch all the teeny tiny little chicken stitches I can get my hands on. She's another crazy chicken lady, and I just love it. So I had a really good time, and then I had a little bit of an easy Thursday, which was nice, and Friday I went and met up with, her name is Terry, from the Old Needle. Now many of you know her. She's a professional cross-stitch finisher, and it was so funny that not too long ago, but maybe a couple of years, I had noticed that she was local to me. So it's just one of those things that we were trying to, always making time to get together. And so I wanted to give her a few of my finishes that I had for her to professionally finish. And one of them is going to be a Matilda summer release that I am really quite excited about. So she had a very cool idea, and I cannot wait. So it was really nice to get together. Philip went, we had breakfast at IHOP, like a later, brunchy type thing, and we just got to chit chat, and it was so nice to finally meet her in person, and I cannot wait to see what she does. So I think I gave her 3 business type things to finish, and then 2 on a personal. I gave her my Brenda Gervais, it was my birthday sale, the Witch's Garden, or I think that's what it was called. But anyways, to turn that into the pumpkin, the drum, and so she has that to do, as well as I gave her one more, and now I can't think of what it was. Wow, that's just kind of blew my mind. Either way, I'm super excited. She does a beautiful job. She has a wonderful Etsy shop. I will make sure the link is down below. I know several people that have purchased from her, and it's definitely a place that she does have an Instagram. You can find her on there too. And then she shares with you her finishes. She shares with you her stitchy work, as well as what's for sale in her shop. Okay, so I believe that was pretty much my week. Yesterday we we got back to cutting in way up high, and then we went for a couple of golf cart rides, and I think that was it. I mean, we were busy all day, but nothing of interest to y'all, you know. I did stitch last night, but okay, so that leaves me with I've got some haul, and I wanted to share that because on Monday I went to Hobby Lobby, and I'm always on the hunt for fabric for finishing, things like that. And I just wanted to share this. I got 2 pieces of fabric. One was sewing themed, and I gave that to Terry, the old needle. I don't think she's going to use it, but I didn't have it with me. But I found some fabric, and this made me think of Annie, the Proper Stitcher. But as you can see, I've kind of worked towards a blue theme in the room. Oh, one day we went to Wildwood Antique Mall, and I know you can't see it, but this lamp right there, I needed more light in that corner. That lamp has a sampler on it. Now it's vintage, don't get me wrong. I replaced it with a red gingham, small gingham shade that they also had, and it is adorable. So I will take a picture for y'all and have my husband insert it, but it's vintage. It's not, but I love it. It's so cool. It has an actual sampler on it. So anyways, that was my find of the day. Back to where I was. Fabric and Miss Annie, the Proper Stitcher. Let's see if I can make this show up. It's very light. There you go. But this is at Hobby Lobby, and I absolutely love chickens, and I love the simplicity of it. And I thought if I started stitching on some pieces for in the kitchen or in this area, the blue is so nice. So I love that. I think Annie would like it too. So I had to think of her. And she has a new FlossTube out. So y'all want to check that out because she's always got great things to share. So then, because I was at Hobby Lobby, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has noticed that cross stitch kits and other things that maybe they're not going to carry anymore were drastically reduced. So I knew that my friend Stitchy Linda, who is stitching on something, a little secret stitch, she's sharing some sneak peeks, and I love it. Wait for, you're going to get to see next, I believe a bear, a black bear is coming to life, but what she's working on, super cute. It's special, and the animals are coming to life, and all the little motifs are just, I love it. And that is a story to come in the future. So anyways, but Linda's daughter loves the red truck stuff. And so this was a kit that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I immediately called her and said, do you want me to pick it up? And she's like, yes, because instead of $30, it was $4.99. And of course, everything is organized. Now, I highly doubt she would stitch on the Ada that comes with it, but that doesn't matter. You get the pattern, you get all the floss, and it's already sorted for you. You can do what you want, and it was totally worth the $4 or $5. Sorry, I rounded down. That was one I picked up. I have one of my model stitchers who still loves stitching on Ada, and that's her jam. So I saw this really huge, she likes 16 count too. I saw this huge piece, 30 by 36, and it was $2.99. And I just wanted to gift her that in case it keeps her going on anything she's got in her stash. And I just had to grab that. And then I grabbed something for my daughter and my son-in-law, who, if I didn't mention it, which I think I did, but it is his birthday today. His name is Christian, and my son-in-law, he turns 35. So happy birthday to Christian. He knows how to stitch as well, but my daughter Heather stitches, and I believe I've shared they love Star Wars, and she's shared some of her stuff before. She unfortunately isn't stitching right now because she got a ganglion cyst on her wrist. and it really causes it to hurt. So until she can deal with that or get it removed, she is not stitching, but that doesn't mean you don't need a stash. So I picked up the Yoda from Star Wars. Nope, this way. For her. And, you know, again, instead of $30, it was $4.99, and everything is sorted by colors. So you don't pass those things up if you can, you know. So I'm happy to give those two and the fabric, you know, when I see everybody next. Let me put those away. Okay, so that was part of my haul. Then when I did go up on Wednesday to Brick City Cross Stitch, which is my local needle shop in Ocala, Florida, and I was able to, I don't know if I will make it for their market days or this week. I don't know if I was going to make it, so while I was there, I went ahead and picked up my market haul that I had pre-ordered from Brick City Cross Stitch. You all have seen a couple of the things I picked up personally from market while I was there, but these were what I ordered to support my local needle shop. The first one is, and all of these you guys have seen, but I'm going to share. The first one that I loved was Plum Street Samplers, This I Know. Jesus loves me, this I know. And I got to tell you, how I mean, how do you not? I just had to. I had to. I can sing this. I just feel like remember my childhood, and it's just perfect. So I am excited to stitch this one up. So that was the first one. Okay. Then I absolutely fell in love with Stacy Nash's designs, and it is the Spring Chickens Pin Keep. Oopsie. I hate working on the glare, but I hate to take these out. So, spring. What the heck? You know, sometimes you get good at this, and then other times you forget what you're doing with this whole webcam. But, anyways, her details in the chickens are just super good. So, I am excited to stitch that one up. Then, I also loved by Stacy Nash the Faded Garden Pin Keep Drum and Needle Keep. There you go. I love the house, and I just wanted to add some more drums to my collection. So there's that. Okay, now this one, both Linda loves nautical pieces to stitch on. And I like things that remind me of historical nautical stitching. So sometimes our likes will come together. And so I fell in love with Summer Quaker by Lila Studio, which I kind of fangirled her in the elevator. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I know who you are. So anyways, she's super cute, super sweet, and of course very talented. So this is Summer Quaker. Get it in there good for you. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Now, I believe Linda is going to pass on stitching the Quaker motifs around it, like that's the border. And she's going to stitch just the scene in the middle. I haven't decided yet. I agree, but at the same time, I really enjoyed stitching my Bluebird Quaker, which is over, I gotta use my other hand. Okay, that's so ridiculous, guys. Ooh. This is crazy. If I do this one, I can get it. But this one over here, wait. Okay, I'm going to tell you, it's the one right next to the clock, and I'm not going to try and do that because that makes me look like I don't even know what I'm doing. But anyways, I really enjoyed that, and I kind of feel like I might enjoy this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a try to do the whole thing because I think it'd look really cool next to it. And if I could get my finger to, there you go, up. I don't understand how that is so difficult. But it's okay if you want to laugh. Laughing is good. So, I tried. Okay, then the last thing that I got was Mary Ann Kopp, sorry. And it is 1839, and this was reproduced by Brenda Gervais. I absolutely loved the border on this one, I have to admit, and the house and the yard and the deer, and I love that. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. So it's got the bowl of berries. I believe the year is, oh yeah, 1839. The yard, I mean, that is just so pretty. And I cannot wait. This one, I know that I have so many that I feel like I have done so much stuff business-wise. I'm still stitching other things, and I'm loving finishing whips. Did I get back to anything in the last 2 weeks? No, because I wanted to go back and finish up A Mother's Honor Due, and I didn't. It's a little different when you start trying to release things in chunks or groups and knowing how much time you need to give to cross-stitch shops to make sure that the fabric is there and the flow. So it's just different. And I feel like that is not a priority right now, but it's also something I'm working really hard at, and so are the model stitchers. So I had a special project that I knew was going to jump in place once I finished my Summer Matilda piece. Okay, so that was it for haul. Let me put these away. And then I mean, I do have a whip. I do have stitching to share with you. Okay. I hope your all's week was good. I got so organized. Okay, so in front of me is that really tall wall, and it's the desk. It's where I do FlossTube. Do I sit at it and design? No, but it's kind of like my office area, but yet not. So, oh my gosh, I was so excited. When you take everything off a wall and paint, I was able to rethink it, and I have always collected or loved the patriotic Lungeberger baskets. And so I have some of those on display. I'm able to use, I moved a hutch. I had a hutch that was right here, and I moved that around. It's in the kitchen area. So I was able to bring my antique spool cabinet to the right of me. So I will share a picture of that so you can see it, but boy, does it feel better. Okay. I think I was going to head into, I was going to share my whip. So I had an FFO, which was the Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve. Now, you know, I was getting very close to that, and I did have a finish, and so instead of saving it for this FlossTube, I was going to Hobby Lobby. I dropped it off. So I was thrilled to have a finish on that. I will tell you, it is quite filled with my own decisions. Definitely not followed to the T. I took a little guy hanging off the sleigh, or off the back. He was kind of really not, I'm not sure what he was doing. But either way, I didn't care for him, and I threw a snowflake, and I made it all work with my boo-boo that I had down in the bottom where the words were, and I absolutely love it. So it is getting framed, and it will be, I think, my third Christmas Prairie Schooler as far as like the bigger ones go. So I'm excited. I was going to jump into Halloween because now my Prairie Schooler Saturday night Santa stitching with Tina and Linda, I don't have anything. So Linda, I think, shared her update last night. She worked on it, and I know Tina is probably maybe a little farther along than Linda, but maybe not much. But I decided I was going to do Halloween, but my plans are going to be, I really, really, really love the Prairie Schooler Christmas Traditions. Whoops, sorry. Now, I don't want to do the middle one. I want to do both of these now to figure out which one to start with. And I actually really love both of those, but I think I want to do the nativity. I think I want to start with the nativity. You get to start right off with a cow and all the farm animals, all the things I love, and get straight to the center. And I know for a fact I will probably leave this one up all year. This says peace on earth, goodwill to men. I just love it, and so I am going to get this one kitted up next, and I'll probably just keep, when I'm done with the nativity, move right on up to the other ones. So again, this is book number 95. Oopsie, sorry. The Prairie Schooler Christmas Traditions. I love that. I'm super excited. And I should have jumped on Halloween, because then when it comes to Halloween time, I'm going to wish I had done a Halloween one, but that's okay. You got to stitch what you love, and you got to stitch what you're in the mood to stitch. Okay, that is going to be one of my plans, and that was my FFO as far as finishing that one goes. All right, then I'm saving my one whip for a little bit towards the end, so there's a little story that goes with it. So I hope you'll stay along and wait for that announcement. All right, then I shared with y'all that I stitched not too long ago the portions of The Patriot by Lone Elm. I stitched the dude. Let me show you that. And I decided I was gonna, because I have a seasonal tree, and I wanted to just kind of keep it up all year and have patriotic type themed pieces on there. And so this was my finish of him. And I'm going to turn them into small pillows and stuff. I was picking the next one, and even though I am still going to stitch another one off of the pattern, I have started the house right here. I've started that. So I'm going to do the house and the eagle as another one. But I did go through and pulled out my the next one. And these are just nice and easy for me to still do some things for myself. And they move quickly. So this is by Country Rustic Primitives, and it is the Toy Soldier Pillow Tuck. And there you go. And anyway, so it is, the designer is Jenny Hoffman, and I think he's super cute. Now, I can decide if I want to stitch all of it. I mean, it's quite small, or just him again, whatever. I love being able to play with these things. This one's stitched on 32 count linen, and this was a PDF download. So I know you can find Country Rustic Primitives. Let me see here. She has an email, but I know she's on Etsy store. Yes. Jenny Hoffman, Etsy store username, Country Rustic. So anyways, you can find her. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. I might be able to do a little quick one this week when I need a break from some of the other stuff. And then I will have a couple to finish. Okay, so that's that plan. All right, before market, I was halfway done designing a sampler and reproducing a sampler, and it is Ada Elizabeth Smalley's. I have shared it with you. This is the original. Hold on one second here. This is the original. And it says God is love. And I was very blessed to have research done to help me out on this. I will tell you, it seems like it would be easy and quick to reproduce. It's not. But I am halfway done. I just knew I couldn't pull it off for market and stitch it myself. This is something I would want to stitch myself. So I did pull that back out so that I can get back to work on actually charting it and then working towards, I don't know that I would be able to pull off a summer release, but for sure a fall release would be really nice. And my fall releases will be at the end of August. So I was excited to join in on the needlework market that is being put. It's called, her name is, she's from Stitchin' Bits and Bobs, and they're putting on a virtual needlework market, and you can find some news on that, but it is, I believe, the last weekend in August, and I'm really excited. This will be our first virtual event, wholesale type event, and I think that's going to be fun, another learning experience, and I can have Randy help me. So I'm thrilled to have signed up and be part of that event. So that is when I will have my fall releases go out at that time, and so I'm hoping to have that sampler ready then. Okay, I think we did really good. Now, some of the stitching I couldn't show you, and then some of it's at Hobby Lobby, and this is what I have right now. When I went up to Brick City Cross Stitch, I had to get the floss for the 2023 Prevent Child Abuse design. And let me just go through a little bit this before I share it. I am going to share progress. It's going to work a little bit differently this year. Let me refresh your memory. Last year, 2022, I did a Prevent Child Abuse design where the pattern was in my Etsy shop, so you could download it, where all the proceeds that I got through the Etsy shop were donated to Prevent Child Abuse of Georgia. Now, my sister is the executive director there, and if you followed me for any length of time, you probably know that. You know how proud I am of her and all the accomplishments and where her heart is. And so when we did that, the original idea was to make it a limited edition. So for the month of April, it was in my Etsy shop, and we called it a limited edition. And then I gave her the piece and the check, and I shared pictures, and so we raised $500 for Prevent Child Abuse Georgia last year. And I shared some of people's fully finishes. Some people changed the colors and they stitched them for any type of a cancer situation. I had Chris Leedy, who I was just at her house, and I could still see it sitting out. She stitched it on behalf of her mom, who passed away from cancer. She changed the colors of the pinwheel. There's a lot you could do with it. So that being said, things had to change this year a little bit, because I primarily, I have my Etsy shop, but I also have wholesalers, and that would be Yarn Tree, that carries my patterns in hard copy, as well as Hoffman, 123 Stitch. Fat Quarter Shop has the PDFs. I had to figure out how I could carry on this tradition yearly to support just a huge cause, just so close to my heart. And it's always going to link up to April, which is Prevent Child Abuse Month. Then you have Wear Blue Day. So it is not Wear Blue Day today, but I won't see you when it is Wear Blue Day. So this is the shirt. Let me see if I can pull it up here for you. It doesn't look so hot like that, but okay. That's what you're going to get. I have my blue shirt. I will take a picture of it for Instagram. So there is Wear Blue Day. And then there is the entire month of April that focuses on pinwheel prevention, spreading the word. There's so much. So I am going to make sure that I insert pictures that will share a couple of her latest type accomplishments and how they celebrate and share the word of Prevent Child Abuse Month. And this year I designed something that would correlate to a special announcement, which was, it comes in two forms. We all know Jeremiah, and we all know Jeremiah met a girl So Jeremiah and Miss Jenny, during market, he had proposed. So there was the pattern pond proposal. They got married. Now, sometimes you just know when you know. And they are officially expecting. So I can't think of a better way to celebrate families than to bring a piece to life centering around, Jeremiah, his wife, Jenny, and their baby. So I have created something that I will start sharing sneak peeks, and I will be stitching it through the month of April. As soon as I get it finished, I will go ahead and get it released. This will not be something that I wait on for a summer release or fall release. This will just go out all on its own. I will make a special announcement. It will be in newsletter, all of that. And then it'll get off to shops. The difference this year is I will not retire it. It will go out just as I have done other releases, and it will stay there. Then 100% of my profits will get sent as they come in to Prevent Child Abuse Georgia. So one, we have a chance to change lives. We have a chance to reach out to the communities, and we have a chance to make that happen consistently, not just a one-time donation. That makes me really happy. It has always been part of something on my journey was to give back. And I've been able to do that now. Last year in 2022, twice. We supported a couple of children with Back to School Matilda. And I actually had gotten pictures of the kids that we helped. And I know that that's not something I can share, but I can tell you I bawled like a baby. If you watched my last FlossTube, you know I cry sometimes on FlossTube. It just happens. But this is really important to me. So I encourage you when it does go out that you would take that time to purchase, but I want you to know that just perchance, if you can, it's going to stay out. It is not going to get retired like last year's did. It will be available to you wherever my patterns are available, and any of the monies that I receive, because just so you understand that this is something you can absolutely do. Like when I receive, because of Yarn Tree at wholesale or Hoffman, however it works, you do get an itemized, it tells you. It will tell me you sold 5 of the PCA 2023. So I will know what I can send. And I hope that just continues to happen. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this year. I made it the same way, with the same idea as I did last year, which was I wanted you to feel like you could still stitch it, even if you didn't want to stitch it with a pinwheel. Even if it was something that you wanted, like in this situation, it's Jeremiah. Maybe you just want to stitch Jeremiah. Maybe you just want to stitch Jeremiah with Jenny, and that's okay. You're still supporting the cause. So I made it versatile so that you could remove certain portions of it and still have their first family photo. Okay, so that being said, let me just share what my progress is right now. I am almost finished with the pinwheel. So the pinwheel is always going to be there. It's your pinwheel of prevention, and typically during the month of April you will see people put those in their yard. And in this situation, the next thing I have coming around this design is you will see the family home centered underneath the pinwheel of prevention. That's what's coming next. Okay, so that lets you know what my plans are for April. I hope I get back to, a little bit of the designing of the model for the sampler, and Ada Elizabeth Smalley's. I really do hope to pull that back out and put my brain to work. I would like to start, I need to start my next prairie schooler because I want to have a Saturday stitch, and I like to take it to my dad's on Wednesdays. It's just a perfect thing. I will take my Prevent Child Abuse one to my dad's this week because they are always kind of like going to be something that a beginner could do. So I am stitching it. If you do want the details and you wanted to get your supplies ready, I can give you some of that happily. Hold on one second here. Uh-oh, where did my thing go? I'm missing the, oh man, I'm missing my stitched area, those dimensions, and I was just stitching on it last night, so that's baffling, but what I'll do is I can find it for you. I know this is, it's either, I think it's on 28 count wheat. It's a nice deep, like a mushroom, but it's a slightly deeper than that. So, anyways, stay tuned. I will post progress pictures on both YouTube as well as Instagram because I know not everybody is on Instagram, and we'll see. So I do want you to see progress pictures since it's a little bit different this time. And if it got done this week, I would go ahead and I would get it done in final version and get it out there and mail it off. So I just want you to know things are going to be a little bit different this year. And my goal, I told you last year what my goal was. My goal last year was 300, and we ended up surpassing that, and we had $500. Okay, we can reach a bigger group, and my goal this year is 1,000. I would like to donate $1,000 to Prevent Child Abuse Georgia, and that makes me really happy to think about that. Home to me, why do I pick this? Home to me is everything. I love listening to Brenda, and I don't even have to tell you who she is anymore, but I love listening to Brenda when she talks about her house. She makes it very clear that home is her favorite place to be. I love that. I am the same way. I'm not sure that I always was that way, but the minute I had my own home, even if it was rental from when I was real young, I always wanted to make it the best I could be. Now that didn't mean I had to spend a lot of money to do it. It meant that I needed it to feel homey. It meant that I needed to keep it clean. I guess you could say organized. I always wanted to put my time into making things for my house. Okay, so over the years, and now I'm 55 years old, and I've been stitching for a really long time. And I have had children, grandchildren. Even though my house has transpired over the years, like hugely, it's always been that place for me that I find the most comfort. I always wanted my young kids, when they were growing up, to feel like they just had a level of coziness, safety, security, that a meal was going to be on the table. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be mac and cheese and a hot dog. It just needed to be consistent. I needed them to know, again, I was raised that way. And so if you just move through my life, when Philip started having seizures, I was home a lot. It was interesting because I had to revamp my life a little bit. And we went for a while with him still going to school with seizures, and eventually that came to an end. It was really not safe for him in that environment, and that is when I homeschooled. So at that point in time, I had to find myself a little bit of how I was going to be a homeschool teacher, a mother of somebody with special needs and now medical needs, still parent my other two children at the time, keep their life fun and filled. And so I always try to bring that element of home sweet home into the house, because if you are in there. If you are home a lot, it needs to feel good. And I needed my kids to always feel like their home was their safe space. And that links right into the whole supporting of prevent child abuse. I know my sister was the same way. We can be very different on many levels, but we are the same when it comes to this message, that there shouldn't be kids that don't have a meal, that don't have a safe place to call home. And you know, there are tools that are available out there, and that is what it's part of the word that she's sharing. The resources are there. She's trying to get funding for the resources, and not only their chapter. I am not just discussing just, you know, but there are tools that are available, and spreading that word and having the resources to spread that word to these families that may be in need. That's important to me. So that being said, congratulations to Jeremiah and Miss Jenny on their future baby. I'm excited for that. And other than that, I just, you know, I am excited to present this to you, and I am excited to see what we can do as a group and donate it. My goal would be, like I said, I guess we would go by a year, but I would love to say that, you know, at some point in May, we would have reached the goal. Last year that we had 30 days, and I hope that the momentum and the inspiration will last throughout those first 30 days, so that a bulk amount can be donated at first. So anyways, that was my thought. I am so glad you were here with me today. I will make sure that all these pictures are inserted. Randy does a great job. I can't thank him enough. And that way you can see a little bit. I think it's so important for you to see and make that connection with a personal connection as well. So other than that, I am going to go for a golf cart ride with Philip this afternoon. I might go for a little bit of exercise on my treadmill and stitch. I'm excited. I've got the pinwheel, like I said, but I mean, I am excited to get over to Jeremiah, and I will share sneak peeks later. So you guys have a great week. I will be back next weekend. I am confident about that. I have my grandkids coming Friday for the day. So anyways, it'll be fun, a fun week, and I cannot wait to hook up with whenever Terry from the Old Needle has some more finishes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And can we even mention that StitchCon is right around the corner? Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm so ready. And I worked on with Linda a little special something for StitchCon, so I had to finish that too. So I finished that during the week. See, I just can't show it to you. Eventually you'll see it, and it'll be great. Okay, so one last thing. Thank you so much for all of those who had the greatest comments about my market recap. I can't thank you enough. I read them all. It was a lot. It was so much fun. And I appreciate those that understand the tiers. You know, again, you have one life to make this difference and to do things, and I am still learning. I am still learning to have faith over fear, you know, to be brave, to take care of myself better than yesterday. All of those things. I'm just like anybody else. I'm still learning to do these things, but I am excited to learn and share with you on this journey. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. And don't forget to floss. Bye, guys.